Welcome to Community Partners Interview, where we explore the organizations, opportunities, and resources that look to make change in our daily lives. I'm your host, Jocelyn Dore, and you're listening to Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time. Today, I'm joined by Chelsey Peat, who is the Community Engagement and Advocacy Coordinator for Inclusion Lethbridge. Inclusion Lethbridge's mission is to empower individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities and collaboration with their families to have good and worthy lives, included in values without discrimination, enjoying all the rights and responsibilities of full human citizenship. Their vision is for everyone to be fully included, living with dignity in their communities, participating, contributing, and respected for their whole lives. Thank you for joining us today, Chelsey.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Tell us a little bit more about you and what inspired you to work at Inclusion Lethbridge and to work with individuals with disabilities.
Of course. My name's Chelsey. I was born with a rare visible difference neurological condition called Sturge-Weber syndrome. So for me, I've been advocating for a very long time since I was able to really notice how the world was different from me. And in that passion, supporting individuals who have disabilities or differences has always been so instrumental, from growing up in hospitals myself or having to face biases or marginalizations, that I knew that was something that I wanted to pursue in terms of a career. And it just so happened that our little small town has a couple wonderful organizations, and Inclusion Lethbridge was definitely my hope and has been an incredible place to work. We are able to serve such individuals of various abilities and needs and support them and their families. And it's something that I love to do.
Can you tell me a little bit about your beyond graduation and your family managed resources and supports?
One of our programs are the Beyond the Graduation, in the fact that we help families who have individuals with developmental or intellectual or even neurodivergent needs prepare themselves for the working world. As we all know, that whole growing up and going to school, but then having to face the real world can be very daunting, but especially so if you have a disability or a barrier that just causes you struggles. So we help to educate and encourage a lot of these families with resources and steps that can help them in terms of post-secondary education requirements or needs or support, to if they're going to join the workforces and how we can help them in that regard, to the financial aspects of, in our province in Alberta, what we can help them to accomplish independence if that's something that they themselves are striving for. It's a great piece for sure.
I also noticed that you have an award, the Betty Grigg Inclusive Education Award. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how someone can be nominated?
Of course. The Betty Grigg Inclusive Education Award is a yearly award that goes out. Usually just the nomination process starts in the early spring, and we look for families or community members or even individuals working in the education field that feel they know a school or a teacher or someone in that education field that goes beyond just regular special ed type aspects, and instead helps to be inclusive and work with individuals that have a disability, or even just bring that sense of belonging to the community, and are able to exemplify a lot of our core values. So we always are so excited to determine which school it is. And every May, we usually have our Inclusion Lethbridge Gala, where that nominated school is then celebrated. And it's a huge community aspect, and it's something that we take pride in every year.
Are there any restrictions to the services at Inclusion Lethbridge, such as age or caregivers or family members only, things of that nature?
Inclusion Lethbridge stands by its aspect to be inclusive to all members of the community. When it comes to restrictions, I would have to say we do not turn anyone away. We may not have the answer but we we support individuals in any aspect, even if that means just helping them find the right service that may not end up being us, but in fact, we just help navigate the system with them. Whether that's something legal that we may not have the precise knowledge about, or if it's a resource that we ourselves do not have, we are there to at least help them along the way in the aspects of support. So we do not turn away. We do not.
That's good. Without using any names, can you share a success story with me? What supports were put into place when someone asked for help?
I can think of multiple cases, especially recently, where individuals have had sudden changes in their support systems, sudden financial chaos. We all have those times in our lives, even that just something happens. And for one of these instances, I know we had a case come in where an individual just, due to systemic changes and certain critiques in supports that were provided, they found themselves desperate, possibly even looking at things like MAID, which is heartbreaking to hear. And we kind of took them aside. We gave them that empathetic support when they needed it the most. We were able to kind of guide them to come to the office, and we sat down with them. We were able to look over their forms for a few of their supports, kind of rework them, connect them with some other resources, such as the local food bank, as well as some housing supports. And we're able to help them to basically restructure themselves very quickly, but they're doing a lot better right now. And it's those cases right now that I know for us, we almost need, because everything seems so dark, and it's nice to see when things do turn out for the better.
Yes, definitely. Are there any events coming up for Inclusion Lethbridge?
Oh, well, next week, May 30th, we have our Inclusion Gala, our yearly event where we are able to showcase, for example, the Betty Grigg Award, as well as our Lifetime Achievement Award, and really bring the community together to support what we do and help just celebrate all the good stuff. After that, we have our family picnic barbecue, which is always a huge hit with a lot of our families. We kind of connect and are able to just sit down, enjoy a hot dog, play with the kids, that intercommunity networking that just is so crucial. After that, we've got a couple little smaller events within our city, just kind of community drop-in type things. We always have our coffee chats, which happen every couple weeks. We also have our SARSAN, which happens monthly, which is our South Region Self-Advocacy Network meetings, where advocates, individuals of any ability, are able to come and join us either as an ally or a community member and sit down and kind of hit more of those hard discussions and decision-making, or the true passionate advocates that want to be a part of the action and kind of seeing how they can help with the systems and barriers. It's, there's always something happening at Inclusion Lethbridge.
Sounds like it. You guys are very busy. What is one thing that you see happening over and over again to individuals with disabilities that shouldn't be? And how do you think it can be stopped?
That's an interesting question, given what's happening in Alberta right now. Right now, individuals with disabilities are being, as we see, categorized and discriminated against, and facing even more barriers than they were before, due to certain financial and political aspects. Clawbacks are happening to finances, and a lot of individuals are finding themselves suddenly in such dire situations that, like I mentioned earlier, it's very quick, and you find yourself down several $100s. I mean, sadly, we all know that individuals with disabilities face these barriers, and their rates of poverty far outweigh individuals without disabilities. So to further critique these finances and to make them even further affected is almost looking at the realm of human rights aspects, because you have individuals that are in situations they should never have to be in. And I know for us here at Inclusion, that is one piece that, some days are hard. but it's trying to be that support that we can be for a lot of these families and individuals.
If someone wanted to become a member or a volunteer with Inclusion Lethbridge, what is the process for joining as a member and for joining as a volunteer?
Love that question. We give us a call. You can also email us. You can stop by the office. If you're a volunteer, we will pick you up and you will become a member of the family. Membership, you come in, let us know that is something that you would like to be a part of with our community. You'll have access to newsletters and info on our upcoming events and that sort of thing. And that just takes stopping in the office, letting us know, or filling out a form on our website, and you become a member. And it's a wonderful way to really be part of a wonderful, wonderful community.
What is the one thing that you think everyone needs to know about Inclusion Lethbridge?
We, well, as we always say, do you know someone with a disability? And if that answer is yes, we do too, and we love them. And we are the resource hub in a sense. If we don't know, we will find out for you, especially for individuals who may not have the standard or categorized aspect of disability. We still are there to be a support and guide and, a shoulder to cry on in those times of need, but also a hug, a asset, a community asset for sure.
If listeners are looking for more information, how can they reach out to you?
You can always check out our website. It's www.inclusionlethbridge.ca, or they can email. You can email me, Chelsey, Chelsey @inclusionlethbridge.org.
Sounds good. Thank you again for joining us today, Chelsey. I really enjoyed learning about Inclusion Lethbridge.
Thank you so much.
This has been a Community Partners interview on Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time.